Okay, now we're going to talk about some hatching. I apologize to you because the first four videos, were done back when I taught this class as a face-to-face class, and that's why I referenced to next week we would do this in class. So here's how we're going to do with the hatching. Um, I've got part of this one done. Okay, I covered the brick in the previous one of the previous videos. Um, Before I jump into the hatching, here's kind of what your side view is going to look like. Okay, and I went into how, copy these X references over and rotate them and project them down. You're using the same elevations from the front view as far as the heights. That window there, I copied it from the window file, pasted it in here. You can paste it as a block, or you can uh, paste it. If you paste it as a block, it's going to be hard to edit because I just brought it in as a regular DWG file, copied it, and then I deleted the window grids, and then I selected, you know, the whole window, right click and go group, and you click it as a group. And then it's similar to a block, but it's not really a block, but you select it once and you've got one little handle that you can use to move it with. Okay. Um, the door, okay, this door, if you go to Design Center, to your Design Center folders, and there's dynamic blocks, and you go down to Architectural Imperial, click on blocks. There's a door elevation, and so you can drag that and drop it in here. Now the thing is it's if we look at it, okay, so it's kind of like a French door, patio door. It's got a glass, insert in it. You got the door, but then you got the frame around it. And so let's put a dimension on it so we can see what size we're dealing with. Okay, so that's a 2'10" there. Overall size is 3'4". And let's check our height. That's a weird height. Okay, so this is kind of a weird door. Anyway, but our door size itself, I think, was a 3 foot. I'll have to measure it and see. Yeah, it's a 3 foot 6'8" door. So that's where the way that this thing is kind of lined out. Okay, so we will go with it. So we select it, and you can grab the little handles there to change the sizes. So let's pull it back down to a 3'0" door. And we're just going to go with that. And then we want to move it and place it in here. I've got my floor levels turned off. Let me turn those back on. And this is a projection line coming down from my floor plan. And so I'm going to go move, and I'm going to choose the center of the bottom. Turn off my O snap there. Okay. Now I want to go back and turn off those elevation lines because they are going to get in my way. And I turned off my construction lines too, okay? And let's see, now that I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to take that out. Now let's talk hatching. Let me show you this one here, okay? We got two different kind of hatchings. This one is the shake, which is like cedar shakes, so it looks like, cedar shakes, okay? This is the roof shingle hatch that comes in AutoCAD. When we just draw things by hand, this is how we would draw roofing shingles on an elevation. The problem with the shake is that it looks vertical. And for a wall, that's fine, but for a roof, it is not fine because it looks vertical. And the only way to scale these things is do a generic scale so that, and I pulled them back down. This one is scaled so that the distance, the length of the shakes is about 5 to 6 inches, which would be normal, but that also shrinks the width of it. So really, the roof shake hatch doesn't look too good on an AutoCAD drawing, but this one will. And what we'll do is we'll do some polylines so we're not hatching the entire area because it just overloads things. So what I did here is I drew a polyline and just put some zigzags in it, and and then trimmed it at the ends, and then I'll select it, right click and go polyline, and I made it a curved fit. Okay, and you can see with this one here, my curves are a little too goofy looking big, so I'll pull the curves back in so that we've got something like that. Now let's go to our hatch, and these are going to go on my 8 elevation pattern. Color doesn't really matter because we're going to print in black and white anyway. So if you're working somewhere and they're doing AutoCAD, the colors you use are going to be based on the layers, okay, because you're going to print in black and white anyway. So let's go hatch, and let's go up to the, in case you haven't figured it out yet, you can hit that pull down and get a bigger view. Where's it at? AR roof right there. And I'm thinking I used an 8. I'm not real sure. I have to look at my other one and see. I think that's what I used. And then just come down here and click inside the area that you want. Okay. And like I said, we're not going to do the whole roof. And you can see over here I did just a piece of the front. Yeah, I used a scale of 8. So that kind of looks okay because we look at it in paper space on our paper. It gives it a nice view there. Okay, so now let's go back and let's talk about the siding. Okay, now this is, the book shows it as being redwood siding, which is about a 10-inch overlap. Normally, hatches will pick up islands for some reason. They are not picking up the windows as an island. You can try it without it, and we'll see how you can see how it works. So what I've been doing is drawing a rectangle around the windows. I'm just staying on my elevation pattern. I'm going rectangle command and picking the opposite corners of the window, like so. Okay. And now I'll go to my hatch command, and I want to use the user pattern. So I'm going to go user, and I'm setting it to 10 inches. Okay. And I want to set my origin. Excuse me. Hit the pull down. I want to set I'm using the bottom left-hand corner. And then I'll come down here and pick inside there. It still didn't. There. So I had to place it first and then set the origin because I want my first line to be 10 inches up. If I just, it didn't. All right. So normally AutoCAD will pick up the islands inside of the thing. So if I go pick points, and you see it just blew right through the windows. So if I go select, okay, so it's not doing it here. So if this happens to you, we'll go hatch, and instead of picking points, we'll go select. And I'm picking these 3 sides. 4 sides. And then I'm going to come back and select the boundaries that I drew around the windows. Okay, but we can see we'll live with that. Okay. What ended up happening? You didn't see it. I didn't see anything. But I drew this line as the separator between the horizontal and the vertical. I came from here and I came up 2 inches, but we'll move it up to correspond with the top edge of that hatch. Okay. Now let's try this side over here. Okay, and we can see, because I drew in this porch, and you can see my lines are kind of skewed. So hmm, there we go. All right, so maybe the porch is not such a great idea. I thought I'd do the porch and make it look like, uh, hmm, there's a way to deal with it, and I'll go with it. All right, so now then, if I were to do this area up here, if I go back to hatch and still user, go 10 inch, but I'm going to change my angle to 90. And click in there. Okay, and that gives me the vertical there. The vent here, basically I drew a line from the bottom of the chimney across, offset it 2 inches up to give me the bottom line there. Took my fascia board, offset it 2 inches down to give me that angle, and then I just offset up 3 inches and then trimmed all that up good. Okay, so that's got hatching, the door, hatching there. Um, the porch, I pulled that in from the top view down. I made it 8 inches thick. I think it was like 4 inches down from there. Um, I think that's I think that gets all of the hatching stuff done. Um, if you look on the textbook on like it's page 580 at the back of the elevations chapter, it gives you a view of what a typical front elevation would look like with the notes, and we'll do the same kind of a thing on the left side view and the right side view. Okay, if you got questions, shoot me an email.